Yo, what's up everybody? Jambo Parker here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And here we are. Anyway, another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to do a top 10 list. I hope it's something that, that can help out and give a little bit more depth as to why I chose who I chose. Probably not going to be too many differences between any of the other top 10 lists as far as the same topic. But I'm going to narrow it down sort of to just AoE Nukers. So top 10 Arena AoE Nukers. And before I get into who made the list and who's honorable mentions, gotta give a big shout out to that subscribe button. That's a great button, man. You know, most channels I go to, almost all of them, I hit that subscribe button and I just feel good. So I want you guys to feel good too. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's a fantastic button. And you'll make me feel good too. So, shameless self-promotion aside, we got a couple of, what are they called? They're called honorable mentions. Good Lord, words today are hard. So, the first honorable mention is going to be a combination of 4. And I'm not really going to go into them too detailed. Because it's your starter champion, right? Everybody has a starter champion. This is basically the early game version of the best arena AoE nuker, and it's going to be whoever you chose as your starter champion. They are all relatively close to each other as far as stats go, as far as multipliers go, so that's all you really need to know about that. Those are the first honorable mention, is all 4 of the starter champions. Now, the next one is going to be the very first legendary I ever pulled, Robar. Now, he's an honorable mention. Why is he an honorable mention? Well, because he's got some conditions. His AoE, it's got a, let me see here, 4.2 multiplier here, but it doesn't actually hit as hard as you think it does. It's weird. But the damage will increase, but you have to have one of these things. And that means your arena team is going to be a little different. So, not exactly what we're looking for here. Not as cut and dry. His A2 also hits really hard too as well, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to hit that hard for me. So, he's an honorable mention. Next honorable mention is going to be the queen of cheese, I want to say, Skull Crown. Skull Crown is the queen of cheese, I like to say, because she's got this unkillable thing whenever she's very annoying. And she's got an AoE A1, doesn't hit very hard if they're not under 50%, but the A2 does hit hard. It's got a 4.3 multiplier, but she's not necessarily going to be used as your specific arena nuker. She's going to be more of a blender team. So, honorable mention she becomes. The last honorable mention I have is from the same faction. Why did I go out? Hegemon. Hegemon is going to be the last honorable mention. This right here, the AoE here is, I believe, you can build this guy one of 2 ways. You can build him to nuke, or you can build him to crowd control with the block active skills here. I feel like he's more used as a crowd control than anything else, whether it's with the A3 or the A2 blocking active skills, or with the A1 decreased speed. You know, you can pick somebody to decrease speed, stuff like that. He's not necessarily used as a nuke as often as the top 10 list, but he definitely can if you want to build him for that. So, on to the top 10. No particular order. We're going to start off with probably the #1 nuker in the game. I don't know anybody who would argue that she's not, and that's Trunda, right? Let's get her out of the way first. Everybody knows she's the best nuker in the game, in the arena. Well, why is that? Well, this ability right here, Forge Rhythm, is insane. AoE, 70% chance placing a stun for 1 turn. Places a HP burn for 2 turns under a stun. Extra hit on enemies not under stun. So you build her with no accuracy, which is easy to do. She doesn't stun, she hits twice. That multiplier is 3.0 times 2 equals 6. Insane. 1600 base attack. Fantastic. Tons of HP too, so not hard to keep alive if that's what you're talking about. But not only that, does she have this A2 right here. Will attack 1 enemy with a 6.0 multiplier on that, by the way. And attacks all other enemies with a second hit dealing 60% of the damage inflicted from the first hit. This hits almost as hard, if not harder, than this one. It's insane. As an AoE, this doesn't hit as hard as Forge Rhythm, but this, you can basically take out one enemy. It's rough. It's rough. So, best nuker in the game, out of the way. Staying in the same faction here. Herndon. This guy, I love calling this guy Ginger Rambo. Ginger Rambo. And if you disagree with me, let me know. This guy's Ginger Rambo. He's got 2 AoEs. This A2. AoE, defense down, accuracy down. Very, very utility. But this is also a 4.4 multiplier. Insane. That means whatever his attack is, multiply it by 4.4. That's your base. Times your crit damage percent. And that's what you should get. You know, if you have defense down on already, whatever. You know, yada. But the A3 here, single target, fully depletes turn meter. Will also attack all enemies if the first attack is critical. The AoE has a chance of placing these things and these things. Now that first hit, here, 6.2 multiplier. Holy mother. It crits, you get the AoE, that's a 4.0 multiplier. This is a nuke and a half on a single target and an AoE. Here's your AoE nuke. And he was a free champion. I love it. My favorite. He's my second favorite nuker that I own. Alright, let's move on. Let's go to Demon Spawn. Probably the best go second nuker in the game, I want to say. Kandrafon. Why is Kandrafon so good in a go second nuking arena team? Because, let's see, it's passive right here. Damage increases by 40% while attacking under a Veil or Perfect Veil. Receives 40% less damage while under a Veil or Perfect Veil. Boosts his turn meter each time this champion receives damage. And then plays a Perfect Veil whenever anybody's turn meter is filled and the buff can't be removed. Perfect Veil protects you and he takes less damage anyway. Now his AoE, not this, his AoE is only a 3.7 multiplier, but he gets the 40% damage increase while under a Perfect Veil. He's Force Affinity. That has to say a lot. Anybody who's gone up against this guy knows he's a monster in the arena. That's all I gotta say about Kandrafon. Alright, let's go into one of my favorites that I just recently pulled, and that's Jambo. Jambo the Dishonored. This guy has got a unique kit, still hits very hard. His A2 is his AoE. 100% chance decreasing duration of all buffs. Doesn't really matter. Can't be resisted on crits. Doesn't really matter about that, but we're talking about the AoE. His AoE is a 4.0 multiplier, which is the same as your starter champions. It's also the same as a couple others on this list. But you may be asking, why is he on the list? This multiplier is crap. Well, it's because of his A3 right here. He gets a 30% increased crit rate, 30% increased crit damage, and then he gives himself an extra turn. So you can build this guy with 70% crit rate, and then as much crit damage as you want. He's going to get 30% increased crit rate from himself, and then the crit damage. And then the even crazier thing about this guy's kit, not only does he do that, but if he's under an increased attack buff, he will ignore unkillable. So your Skull Crowns, your Leos, your Swift Parry sets, nah, we're good. We're good. Thanks, Jambo. Jambo just did that. And that works for his A1 as well, which can hit hard. So, next champion on the list. Let's get down to it. Knight Revs. Going back to the Knight Revs. One of my personal favorites. I have a lot of personal favorites, okay? Get over it. Solus. I think it's the only defense-based nuker that I have on this list. And because he's the only one that really deserves a spot on this list. I think it's the A3. It is definitely the A3. AoE. Does a whole bunch of stuff. Places Provoke. Shield on himself. Increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. So, this is a base 4.9 multiplier. Increases by 10% for each debuff on the target. You get defense down, weaken, defense down, attack down, poisons. Who cares? Whatever you get on him. He does 10% more damage for each debuff on the target. 1,421 base defense. Fantastic. Hits like a truck. Can almost out DPS can almost out nuke anybody else on this list with the exception of a few. If you build him right. But, you know, that's a caveat for everybody on this list. So, next on the list, we're going to back to the Demon Spawns. And we're going to one of the fusion champions that was free at one point in time. I forget which fusion he was part of. Magnar. Magnar's on this list because of his A2 percussive pound. Fantastic ability. AoE. Extra hit if they don't have an HP burn. Well, who's using HP burn in the arena? Nobody's using HP burn in the arena, right? It's a like if you don't kill the other team within 2 or 3 turns, then there's no point. So he gets double hit. This is a 0.22 multiplier, but it's HP based. So basically 22% of his HP gets turned into the damage multiplier, whatever, times his crit damage, defense down, add all that stuff in, and there you go. This guy can hit like a truck. Anybody who's gone up against him knows what I'm talking about. Definitely build this guy if you haven't. Next on the list, well, we're going to the one guy I talked about earlier, Leo. Leorius the Proud. This guy, not only does he look cool, he's got a really cool kit too. So he's got double AoE 2 times here. Most people don't really use this too often because if they use this, then he's not immune to these things. But it is still a double hit that is a 2.0 multiplier, so it'll be a 4.0 multiplier essentially. Mainly use him for his A3. AoE, you get the True Fear, you get the Weaken before attacking. This right here is a 3.85. 3.85 multiplier. But, caveat here with Leo, damage increases as the champion's HP decreases. 1% for every 1% of HP lost. Instantly places unkillable before receiving a fatal hit. So this guy is perfect in a Go Second team. If you don't have a Candrafon, but you have a Leo, I don't know. You know, if you got Leo and you got Candrafon, you can run 2 different teams. It's all good. This guy gets down to 1 HP, puts unkillable on himself, then he gets 99% damage increase. Smokes. He smokes. If you have him, you built him. I guarantee it. All right, next on the list is going to be one of the OG of OGs. That's going to be Foley. If it ever lets me click on him, right here. Here we go. Sealed Fate. This is the one that a lot of people have seen before. AoE, turn meter decreased, whatever. Enemies killed by the skill cannot be revived. That is why Foley is on this list. He also cannot be crowd controlled with stun, freeze, sleep, or provoke if they try it once. If they try it once, he can't be controlled, and he gets 50% turn meter. So he can basically cut in and do all that crazy stuff. And then gets off Sealed Fate. Can't revive, screws up your whole team. His other abilities are okay as far as dungeons and stuff, but the A3 is really what we want. Block Revive, that's why Foley makes the list. That is a 4.0 multiplier on Foley as well. So, 2 more champions here. I believe we're going to go to Bannerlords. And did I find one? I didn't find one. Man. It's got to be Sacred Order, I guess. Let me see. Let me see. Where is this guy? High Elves. High Elves. There she is. Found her. Man, it's always like whatever. Anyway, Yannicka. Everybody can get her for free from the clan shop. And I highly recommend, if you do not have, like, if you don't have Trunda or Candrafon or Leo or, you know, I mean, I kind of recommend getting her anyway. Right? I've already got her, so I didn't bother going to the clan shop to get her, but I feel like if you don't have any of the other champions I mentioned on this list, get Yannicka. She's really good. So, what does she do? She's got this single target, places Perfect Veil on herself for 3 turns if it's critical, and it grants an extra turn. Now, this is insane, because this is a 6.3 multiplier on a single target that gives her a Perfect Veil and gives her an extra turn. And what she'll do is she'll go right into her A3, which is an AoE that ignores shields. It removes the shields if they're under a Veil or Perfect Veil. Well, she just gave herself a Perfect Veil. Then deals extra damage equal to 15% of the value of the removed shield buffs. She is amazing. And this right here is a 3.6 multiplier. So, you kill one person, get yourself a perfect buff, and then you kill everybody else. Pretty freaking great. Even if they have shields. So, if you don't have a Madame, or a Rion, or a Kaimar, or somebody to strip those shield buffs, you know, if you're going up against like a Krisk or something like that, then Yannicka will definitely do the trick for you. Okay, last one on the list, same faction, That's going to be Big Bad Ethos. Big Bad Ethos right here. So, Ethos is fantastic everywhere in the game. But if your sole goal is for the arena, he can be the best nuker you own. 100%. And here's why, right? If you're only using him in the arena, do not take this advice. If you're going to use him anywhere else, do not take this advice. But if you're only using him in the arena, 0 crit. You need 0 crit because all you're going to do is this right here. AoE 4.4 multiplier. Attack is always critical. You get his attack through the roof. You get his crit damage through the roof. You don't worry about crit rate. Now, is that good advice? Probably not. Most definitely not. If you have this guy, chances are you're using him as your campaign farmer or your dungeon farmer for waves, stuff like that. But I'm just saying, it's an option you can build. You can build him with literally 15% crit rate and as much other stats as you want. So that's the list right there. Let me know if there's anybody I left off. Let me know if I left off your favorite champion. Yell at me down in the comment section. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that dislike button if you thought I'm an idiot. Definitely do that too. I love it. And leave a comment why you hit the dislike button. I'm Jambo Parker. See you guys next time. Peace out.